Okay, so this is another video all about establishing relationships and working our way up to doing a query. So this time we're using the hospital themed tasks, and again we've got three tables, not linked at all by themselves, and you have to establish relationships. As always, probably the first hurdle, the most tricky part, is working out what is unique and what is an individual. So as always, you've got to have a look at all three tables. So let's look at doctor first of all. Have a look at the fields. Is there anything unique there? Anything that stands out? And you think, well, maybe consultant ID might be individual. And then we go to patient and we see, well, I've got name, but hey, everyone can have the same first name potentially. There can be lots of people with the same surname. There could be people with the same first name and same surname living at the same address. So you need something truly unique and truly individual. And in this case, all it can really be in these two is consultant ID and patient ID. Now let's look at appointment. And if we bring up appointment, we can see that on the appointment card we've got clinic, the name, the time, and the consultant ID and the patient ID. So we can establish that our unique identifiers are going to be in the doctor table with consultant ID, and they'll be in the patient table with the patient ID. So let's go establish our relationship. So let's look at doctor. Again, with the view, design view, consultant ID, click on the primary key, make sure the little key is visible. If it's not there, it isn't on, you'll have to go back and do it again. Save the table, open up the patient ID, and view, design view, and make your patient ID your unique variable and patient ID. So we should have two sets of keys, a primary key and a second primary key, which is sometimes referred to, maybe if you've done computing, as a foreign key. Next step is to establish our relationships. So quickly up to database tools, on the relationships tab, which looks a bit like an organisation chart, I always think. Show table, where we get to add all three of our tables one by one. If you double click on one of them, then you might get two of them appearing, but you can just right click on them and delete them away. So let's have a little rearrange and see if I've got any connection. So, well, we can take consultant ID all the way over to there, and we can reinforce integrity like so, and we can take patient ID down to patient ID, and we can reinforce referential integrity again. So we've made our relationships, we've saved them, and the next step is now to move on and use them in a query. Now what we're going to be looking for, we're going to be trying to create a query to list all the consultant IDs and their surnames on the dates and times of appointments and patients. So quite a lot of information, but it'll be condensed because there's only so many consultants and so many patients. So let's go to create, and then we'll go to our query design again. But first off, we have to make sure we have saved our relationships. So query design, you add all three of your tables one by one. Now there's no necessity, there's no need to move these things around. It doesn't make any difference at all. I just like to think it looks neater, and it makes it easier for me to follow what I've been doing in the past rather than having them all jumbled over. I think it just looks more organised, to be honest. Now, what we were looking to do here was to create a query to list all the consultants, see them here from the doctor's table, with their consultant ID, along with their dates and times of appointment from the appointment table, along with the patient's first names and surnames from the patient table. So to get them down, remember you just clicked on them and they appear down here. You can also click on there, get a drop down arrow and choose your field name. You can even change your table from down here as well. So suppose what we're trying to do here, if you're trying to give this a context or make sense of it, what we're trying to do is work out who each doctor is seeing on that day, what's their number, and what is their name. So we're trying to establish the work a doctor has in front of them. So we've got the doctor, the consultant ID, we've got the date in question, we've got the time, and we've got which patient they intend to see. So if we click run, we should have condensed information, maybe 7 records maximum. And there we go. So we've got each consultant, we have got date and time, and we've got the first name and surname of the person who they intend to see. If we look at our doctors table, we can establish that there is only actually the 4 consultants. There's not a great deal of appointment, and some of them are duplicated. So we can work out, who each person is seeing and when. So it's condensing the information really. And that is the benefit of relationships. It makes it easier to find information, makes it more condensed. Again, there'll be more databases videos to follow, so please like. Any comments or questions, then please leave. Thank you.